morning and welcome to another episode of Daybreak Africa on KAFTAN television. My name is Miracle Odunayo.
And top of the morning to you once again. You're welcome to Daybreak Africa from our studio in Ondo State, which is the sunshine state of the nation. And it's a beautiful morning. My name still remains Ikhonede, Dede.
Good morning.
Good morning. Friday again.
Yes, thank God it's Friday.
The weekend again.
The weekend again.
Ball start again. I will
watch
No, I'm not going to. I just want to watch ball. I just came from a program all night.
Okay.
I'm still going for another all night again this night.
So no whole one bed this weekend.
I will sleep till like 12.
Are you sure? Just think.
Watch.
Are you sure you don't have any party?
No party.
Are you sure?
No party.
Okay.
No party.
No
so
problem.
the only thing is I want to just throw people, watch football with friends, maybe at the bar, watch ball together, enjoy ourselves, and just be calm. And just be calm. But
That's
talking about watching ball at the bar, if I don't know.
Are you sure you're not? There's not something. Well, I think it's
No.
all men.
Men. Football is our this thing, and sometimes it's best you watch it either at the viewing center or at the bar or with friends somewhere chilling and all that. Not as if you are just watching it alone at home. It's boring.
I think the joy of watching
football sometimes is when my friend of the opposing club is seated around me and I'm like, you see, and I'm whining him and we are trolling each other. That's one of the most beautiful things you can ever find and all that. And you can't watch football with the wife at home in the actual sense because
why? Some women
love football, but the ones that don't actually love and don't understand the game, it's boring watching it around them because I can't be explaining.
They will be questioning you. What's that one?
The question. I don't know how you'll be questioning me while I'm beating my team at the moment.
If I watch ball with you, I'll just be asking you lots of questions. I'll be like, who's that person? What's that person doing? What's that one?
That's why most times I say, don't worry, you know what? Change this channel, don't worry, I'm coming. You can't do the rest. Because in the actual sense, it's just the way things are. But then it's going to be an exciting weekend, and sometimes everyone needs that period to relax. But then, the topic we're going to be looking at today on Daybreak Africa also, because aside from the whole packages we'll be giving you, we're looking at a very sensitive topic too as well, which has to do with the increase in addiction in our generation and how to conquer these addictions in the actual sense. You know, a lot of things is happening right now. And people are really taking things. You know, I was at the party this week and a birthday bash. And you know, you just seated there and you're seeing young boys and the next thing you're seeing them just mix one or two things. And I'm like, hey. You know, when you're doing Holy Ghost.
See my fellow human being.
This level of highness you can't find anywhere. Like, calm down. And the next thing you begin to hear, it's just for, Now, some even tell you that if I don't take this thing, I can't be okay. I'm like,
But I get the fact that alcohol can be something else, but you know that not just alcohol can be addicted to. We have other things that can be addicted to.
Food.
I remember a few years back, it got to a point that my dad could not, this steam drink.
Yeah.
Like this lemon drink.
The lemon drinks, yeah.
For over a year, my dad took it every day. If he did not take that thing in a day, he would not. I asked them that no, you have to stop this, and thank God he was able to just
control himself. I have a friend who's a banker in the actual sense. If he goes to work in the morning, if he doesn't take Coke in the actual sense, he will not function. He will not function. Every morning, there was a point his boss had to tell him to go take a sugar test. Even I told him the same thing. I asked him one day, how are you performing?
Are you sure that he does not have low sugar?
I don't even know. But I asked him one day, how are you performing in the other room? Because my brother, you can't be taking this level of sugar.
I think most people that take sugary drinks, sometimes they'll tell you that they have low sugar level. So they need
every addicted person will always find an excuse. Shall those that are into gambling addiction, they will tell you,
Yeah, what about gambling? This is football era. People are addicted.
Some people, even in church, where we are praying and doing everything, they will just go and sit in one corner in the toilet or something. They say, after they've done this, everything, they will come out. Glory, there's a bloody lie, bro.
Betting also is
a lot. There are lots of addictions everywhere, and one of the truth is, to a very large extent, some are addicted to some things and some are addicted to other things, and you see that this one is judging that person is judging this person.
You never do you say before now, advice go through your mouth.
True. But then we'll be looking at this holistically today, and yes, I know our guest is going to do justice to this, but first let's take the first package for the day. After that we come back to this discussion, so please stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to the show. If you're just joining us, it's still Daybreak Africa, and yes, we are on to our discussions for today. Today, we'll be looking at a topic that is quite very interesting, kind of sensitive, especially looking at the fact that it's also a timely intervention to societal menace and the destructive habits that are bedeviling our society at this particular time. Today, we'll be looking at conquering addiction, which has to do with means and ways to ensure that you can pull through from addiction. And addiction itself, it's multifaceted. You know, some people have drug addiction, some are addicted to nicotine, some are addicted to drinks, some are addicted to pornography, some are addicted to masturbation and the likes. And in our society today, it's a long spread, it's a big spread, because there's a sharp increase in the rate at which people are getting addicted to a lot of things. But then we'll be looking at this holistically, and yeah, we'll be looking at it with our guests in the house today, who happens to be a social commentator, a psychological enthusiast. He is a friend of the house. We know him more behind the scenes, and we also know him on the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, with us in the studio is Fubara Dede. Welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning, Joshua. Good morning, Miracle. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you so
It's
much.
always a
Thank
pleasure.
you so much.
Being a part of this show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So let's delve deep a bit. Addiction. Yesterday I was watching the Senate president where he was talking about, not the Senate president actually, the senator from Abia, in the person of former governor Oji Uzor-Kalu, talking about the fact that even pilots, you know, they get high on M's, addicted to drugs and all that. I remember yesterday I was also seeing a video on social media where a young lady actually was, you know, caught with ice addiction. When I mean ice, I mean meth.
Yeah.
And though she had gone for rehab and all that, she relapsed again and all those kind of things, and they have been trying means to ensure she can conquer it and all that. And it just gave me a flashback to something that happened in my street. That's back in Lagos a few months ago, where a 15-year-old boy was hospitalized for taking an overdose of kolos. And you know, he was released from the hospital, and while he was going on the street with his friends, I was behind them, he's dropping on their conversation, and they said something like, I won't stop this thing, but I don't know how. A 15-year-old. And it really baffles me that this thing has become so increased in our society at this particular time. And cool. What's your perspective of it? Why do you think addiction is becoming like the order of the day in our society?
Okay, well, number one, first of all, the way people look at some of these addicts is not the way they are supposed to look at them.
Okay.
Society has rejected a lot of them, addicts. Society has rejected a lot of them, and sometimes if you see an addict, most of the times, do you know you get judgmental? That's what comes out in the first place. You get judgmental.
Extremely judgmental.
Extremely judgmental. And why is this one smoking? Why is this one doing all these things? Why is this one drinking? Why is this one doing all these things? But if you have wisdom, it's just ignorance that will make you judgmental. If you have wisdom and know how some of these people get into that state, then you really know that indeed they need more love and even help, both physically and spiritually. But first of all, we have to check about the causes of addiction before we even know how to even help such people. We have to check about the causes of addiction. Well, in no particular that we have so many factors that make so many people addicted: environmental factors, genetic factors. You can see some cases whereby some people are used to some things and they get the effects of some things, while some other people they don't. Some people, it's just even the smell of strong alcohol, it gets
them high.
Why some people, no matter how they drink, it's rubbish. Such a person cannot get addicted to alcohol. It's almost not possible. It's almost not. Yes, it's almost not possible, because what alcohol does is like block some neurotransmitters and make you feel high and okay. We'll get there. We'll get to how some of these things affect people. So what it does is that it drives your dopamine levels for you to get some things, and it makes you feel this okay, this high. So people that don't feel this effect from alcohol, they will see it as nothing. So they won't drink it. They won't take it. They will go and find something else to make them feel high or feel okay. Then we have like trauma, spiritual. Everything just boils down to the family. No matter what I want to mention, it boils down to upbringing. No matter what I want to mention, whether environmental factors, whether PTSD, whether genetic, whatsoever, it boils down to bloodlines and also the family. So in some cases now, let's use people that were sexually abused for some instance, because you will be wondering, how does being sexually abused make someone get addicted to heroin or cocaine or some of these things. Now, some of these people, when they're sexually abused, especially from childhood, there's this thing about being abused that brings shame. Do you know that some guys are being raped, but they don't even know how to talk about it? If you talk, your fellow guy will laugh at you. There are some guys that have been raped to death. Your private organ is more like it has a life on its own. You can even mostly sometimes barely control it as a man. Sometimes even in the cold weather, sometimes if you have high testosterone, it works on its own to show you that yes, you are a man. I'm active, I'm a man. So all these things happens to men, and sometimes that's why all this abuse, they can rape a man to death. It's possible. It's possible, like your whole life, because it's a life you are letting out of. Whenever they keep on doing these things, it's life they are letting out. So such a man now, he will grow up in isolation. He will grow up in shame. He doesn't know anybody to talk to, and sometimes when he talks to some people, they just feel like they just keep quiet. So you can see he doesn't know who to run to, but all these memories, they keep on flashing over and over and over in his mind. Do you know alcohol makes you forget some things? So if such a person is taking alcohol or cocaine or codeine to make you feel high and just live in the moment, you're not going to think about all these things that happens to you. Now, this is how it happens to majorly all of them, whether being sexually abused, whether trauma. Like for some people now, it's mostly the household, the way they grew up. Our parents, some of our parents, they tried, but some of our parents, they don't really know this upbringing of a teen. That's why there's now a course in the university. I think it's something like child upbringing, child upbringing, mental child. Just in the way that psychologists, it's just a class to teach people like how to bring up children, how not to make them like become a menace in the society. So now, a lady that, or you can see some of these people, isolation again. Now, something, because I always talk about the spiritual factor. You guys know me very well.
Definitely we know.
I always talk about the spiritual factor.
The spiritual actually controls the physical.
It controls the physical. It really controls the physical. I always talk about the spiritual, and because it controls the physical. So now, some things that are being done is mostly isolation. When you're isolated from society, you try to find something to do to get better on your own. And sometimes, mostly for the people that really don't know God, the devil is going to suggest some things to you to get to do to feel okay. And that's why most of the times this addiction sets in. A child that is always growing up, don't go outside, stay here, do this, why are you pressing your phone, why are you doing this, why are you doing that? Like this, the child does not even know what to do or what not to do. Do you know that people pleasing can be an addiction too?
Yes.
People pleasing is an addiction. I was like that too until I found the light. Not even indecision is an addiction. Procrastination is an addiction. Fear,
eating certain food,
it's an addiction. There are some people. There are some people. Like there's one of the seven deadly sins. That's why the devil will actually even want to, whatever decision you take, either good or bad, is either God takes all the credit or the devil takes the credit. But God has given us this power of will, the choice to do whatever we want to do. That's why He has said before us light and darkness, but we should choose. So if you keep on doing this, the devil will actually. You see some of these people when they are, when they are facing anxiety, what do I do? Some of them is food. They will just be snacking. They will just be eating. They'll just be eating because they don't know how to control their feelings. They don't know how to control. So some of them, it just pushes them to food. This anxiety. So now, how does anxiety even set in our current society? It all starts from some of the way our parents do bring us. A child is always tensed, and no matter what it does, the parents are not actually okay with him or her. Do you know that there are some children that one of the greatest one of the elites now in our society is, there is this good brainwashing that the parents have to brainwash the child to become great. Take decisions. I will help you. If you fall, I will be there to lift you up. Whatever you want to do, tell me, I'm going to support you. Whenever, like always giving listening ear, throwing the child out business, everything right from small. Why there are some, they choose your career for you. They choose your friends for you.
They choose the food you eat.
They choose the food you eat. They choose where you go. They choose everything for you. So now, do you know that God has given us the power of choice, even as a child, while growing? So now, when you want to bring your own choice or bring your own feeling, then the parents will just just get out, just do this, and they will just block whatever. So now that child, he wants to say something, but what if they get angry? I will not say it. He has killed that child, that curiosity, that adventure that he wants to take. He has killed it. What if I want to? These people, they will shout for me. He has killed it. My friend is going out. What if I want to go and visit him? He remembers. They will say something bad. He stops and I really don't want to eat this food this particular day, and because of the last time it affected my stomach. But if I tell them, they will shout at me. Do you know how bad it is to get food in this house? We will eat whatever we'll give you to eat. And without some parents, okay, why don't you want to eat this food?
In those places where I don't actually have the money to feed.
So no, I mean, everything is all about understanding
and communication.
And do you know that that's one thing about, you see, this is another thinking that really affects us, like, because we allow our current reality shape how we think,
react,
and which is not supposed to be so. It's not supposed to be so in the first place. But that's another topic on another day. So because you feel that you don't have money, do you know that no matter what, you will be conditioned by poverty to always bring a particular menu to the table for your children, no matter how they are suffering? So even if you get anything, poverty has made you just believe that this is cheap, this is what they are going to be eating, because I don't have enough, I don't have anything, this is what you guys will. That's why you see so many people that are so malnourished. There are so many people that grew up with visceral fat. That's another topic on another day. Because of the kind of food that they are eating, they are slim, but just walk 10 steps, they are breathing. They are breathing heavily. Inside, they carry lots of fat inside their system, because of the type of food that they eat when growing up. All this is conditioned by even poverty. You see so many kwashoko and the rest, and so this child cannot actually do anything, and the parents too, because of the anger. I don't have enough. Why does this child want another thing? Why can't you eat this particular thing at home?
But some people see it as this convention, like your conventionalness, and your dad is giving you this, and
you're not taking it.
You see, that's the thing. You see, there is this. Sometimes I like this. I know Westerners have their own bad side, but sometimes there are some things I watch about these Westerners, and it just makes me like, wow, these people are really on another level. Do you know that do you know children understand? Children praise.
Yeah, I think they know how to communicate the
Do you know that when Hagar was in the wilderness, the Lord heard the cry of her child. Hagar was suffering. She was in the wilderness. She removed her eyes from the child. Let the child die. I don't want to see this child die. God was seeing all these things, but because of the cry of the child, everything turned around for Hagar. Do you know that there's a way you will talk to your child? Let me just use myself as an example. There was a day, this is actually funny. My parents had just one tin of milk that time. It was very expensive for everybody to use at home. So I went to drink the milk in the fridge. As a child of curiosity, I went to drink the fridge. Everything. I drank it.
In this economy.
Exactly. Do you know that? Hey. I drank everything. So instead of them to beat me, they started crying.
What?
My mom was crying, and my dad was like patting her, like, so they didn't beat me. I know they beat me so many times, but that particular situation,
like they beat you, should have been out of extreme frustration.
Yes, they didn't
so
beat
they rather
me.
channeled it to something else.
They were just crying, and the love they have for me was like, Kai, this guy does not know what we are going through. And then he took this thing because he felt that we had enough. And you know that as a child that time, as very young, when I saw them crying, and they told me, when I grew up, they told me everything that happened. So when I grew up, I told them a word. I told them that, Mommy, don't worry, God is going to provide for you, yeah? And
that is what I want to
So I said that, and things started working, because a prophecy as a child, just a child. Now, if they beat me, do you know I'll be angry?
So maybe sometimes the unfortunate things parents experience themselves because they don't be the way they react to their children.
So they had to just talk to me and just like I had to see myself, and I saw that they didn't really have, but because of that I was so innocent as a child. That's why you see some of these deadbeat dads that are even dads that just give birth and run away. You don't know what you are conditioning in that child. It takes the grace of God for that child to
come out of that.
That's why we have some of these ladies that have daddy issues. Funny enough, some of these people that are attracted to married men They're attracted to big men older than them. They don't know this kind of fatherly love, so they see any love that comes their way from an aged man, they accept it. And some of these aged men abuse them even more. Furthermore, they abuse them along the line. So this is something that keeps on going over and over again. And they get addicted to pleasing people. They get addicted to all these old men. And you see some of them, me, all I like is married man who check very well. Even if that girl had a child, the father never had this close love relationship with her. Do you know that from statistics, it has been proven that a lady without a dad when growing up, she aged faster. She aged very faster, because there's something love does to your body spiritually, physically, your thinking, your upbringing, everything. There's something that love does to you. And some of these addicts, they didn't have all these things, so they find this love gives you peace. Love takes away worry away from you. Do you know that sometimes when you are going through some things alone and you see that someone is telling you everything is going to be fine, we are going to I'll walk through this with you, do you know that you feel better, you feel slightly okay.
In fact, it just makes you heal.
Yes, especially if you have a good spouse or you have good, it makes you feel okay if you have good friends. But trying to go through these things alone, all the voices in your head, and you want to silence, you must silence it. Something you must use to silence it: God, alcohol, good friends, so many things. You must silence that voice. And if you cannot control yourself very well, you start taking all these injections. Alcohol, it makes you feel fly, but it lasts for a while. You can see it lasts for a while, and when it's gone, those voices come back. And when those voices come back, I can't do this alone, nobody, you will go back and take that thing. You will inject it.
So that means
people see, people actually see addiction as a choice. Why should see it as a disease? What's your own take on that?
It's not a disease. Do you know that a disease is something that is mostly not in your control? A disease, Ebola virus, you get to a place, you get some disease, some poisons that just get to you, something that is not necessarily in your control. It just comes automatically. That's why these people, these things that they take, initially they have control over it, but they just don't know what to do at the main time. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to control it, but they are in control of their situation, but they don't know how to control it. You know that even a disease, we can control diseases now.
So
I mean, come on, we can control diseases. You can don't go here, cover your nose, do this, do that.
Wash your hands.
Even the disease itself, we can control it.
So are you saying that it's a choice?
It's mostly is a choice. Mostly, sometimes it's a choice, but for some people, it is more like a choice that is the only choice that they can choose.
At that time,
at that moment, no other alternative,
because it's soaked in their subconscious.
Yes, so it's more like, and that's why I said it's just the grace of God. And now your environmental factors, because I have to talk about that. Your environmental factors. Go to the trenches. It is a trench war. They call it a trench war. You know that? I know the elites too, they get addicted, but you know that most of these addictions is mostly in the trench area. And
where they will not get proper care.
Yes, exactly. Where they don't get proper care. So this thing that addiction does to, I know in the second aspect we'll talk about the solutions now, but see, we are getting some addictions wrong. We are just streamlining it to only drugs, masturbation, and the rest. Most of this isolation, people that are usually in their home, some of them is just their phone that they have,
and that's another form of addiction entirely.
It's just their phone that they have. And pornography and all these things are so easy now that you can just easily get, because you are so isolated. You need a connection. You need a connection to people, a connection to things. And the devil knows how to play with the minds of people, that they believe that they are connecting to all these things, and get everything is all about dopamine, your reward system in your brain,
to at least get you off realities.
Off realities, and get you doing something. When we get to the solution, we'll talk more about dopamine.
Before we get to the solution and we get to the dopamine, we go to the other part. Let's just take a break a bit. Let's take Go Start. Immediately after Go Start, we come back, and then we'll switch down into some parts of it, then to the parts of the conquering addictions and the solutions to this whole problem. So please stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. If just joined us, it's still Daybreak Africa, and yes, it's time to go back into our discussions for today. I hope you learned one or two things from Go Start, and I hope you're going to do something with what you've learned from Go Start. But let's return to our discussions for today. We've been looking at conquering addictions and timely intervention to correct these destructive habits which are societal menaces to us. And Dede has been taking us into different dimensions of this discussion. Now, I want to just get to something. You ended the last segment with something that has to do with connection. I remember I watched a TED Talk where I've forgotten who was taking the TED Talk actually. I was talking about addiction in the actual sense, and he talked about the fact that many of the times the problem with addiction is not really just the fact that people want to actually take something to just, the problem there is connection, in the sense that they are looking for something to connect with, someone to connect with, and because of that lacuna, they just have to just, you know, switch down to the issues of just maybe taking something just to get them that high. And I know that one of the things I learned in communication school was the fact that the media is there to educate, to entertain, to inform, and then to entertain. And entertainment takes you out of the realities of life, because at the end of the day, life could get very harsh, and you just want to just swipe out of realities, which sometimes this entertainment seems to be the real channel that drives this whole addiction to people. But what's your reaction to the statement of connection?
Yeah, you know, I said it earlier about that isolation, that mostly when you're isolated about something, you always want to try to get connected to something. Always, you always want to try to get connected to something. And mostly, I think in that TED Talk, because I watched it too, not years ago, I watched it too. It's more like, most of the times, the environmental factors, it plays a key role. I mean, the rats were placed in a place, and then in a cage, and then in a cage, and then heroin was there. And because that was the only thing they could see, that was the only thing they could connect to, they ended up taking it. Environmental factors plays a huge way, and family plays a huge way. So because they weren't, and then they took the rat to a rat park, put beverages, so many things, good things, and they still put heroin. You know that the rats didn't go to the heroin, they didn't connect to it. So they had diverse good options to connect to. So about this connection, most of the times it depends on your environmental factors that are around you, and necessarily how you even grow up. Do you know that because of that mental brainwashing, you might grow up with that mindset, and you can even be in a good pack, but you will always see the bad because you were always conditioned with the bad. You're not able to talk out, you are not able to talk to people, you have this extreme anxiety, you cannot keep friends, you are always quiet. If you are going through, someone told me something that most people, when they are in lack, so there are some people, I don't like to borrow, I don't like to ask someone for something. Do you know that if you check inside very well, most of the times when they were growing up, when they were always asking, all they were hearing is no, stop, no, stop.
So the way the thing affected them.
So it affected them. So, and they grew up with this thing that I don't borrow. If I'm suffering, I will suffer alone. I don't even know. What if I tell this person and they say no? And sometimes they might have asked one or two person and they heard no. And all of a sudden it just brings this flashback to them. And they just say no, I'll keep it myself. Someone told me that it's pride. I was like, what really is pride? And I said, it's not pride, it's just fear. And the person, she did not explain, because she's a market person, and she was like, listen, it's pride. Say if you talk, you could just stay there and you will rot in her language. And I looked at it very well. I was like, that is true. I was so self-indulged with myself, and whatever thinking, whatever mindset I have, I kept it on my own, and I believed everything by myself without even necessarily going out to see how things are with other people, or to actually connect, to make sure that this my ideology that I place so high above everything else, it can be broken. So that really is pride. So that really is pride. I thought pride is when you have money, when you are swelling, and I'm like, oh wow, so this is how this thing gets to. And some of these people, the devil knows how to play with them. People that don't like borrowing or asking for people, they will steal. Some of them will steal to get it.
That's when you don't become a kleptomaniac.
Yes, they will do Yahoo. They will do so many vices to get it. Joshua, I don't want to stop addictions with only drugs and other this thing. We have sugar addiction. We have people pleasing addiction. You see, we have food addiction. There's what we call sonic branding. Because I want us to know this very well. Because if we're always looking at drugs, most of us that are here, we don't know, I don't know, but I believe that some of us are not even addicted to all those things. So we might not see some other aspects that we may be addicted to. Some other aspects that we may be addicted to. This is what we call sonic branding. Your food, your water, your drinks, everything. We have sound engineers that engineered it to be pleasing to your ears and to your eyes. The branding, the coloring, everything. Wow. Yeah, it is. The way you open a Coke, that sound, and it pours out. It is a branding. That sound gives you this satiety already without even drinking it. The way you pop a bread nylon, once you are opening it, wherever you are, people will know that that is food. People know that this is a snack, and everything is so easy on the go. There are some branding. Even if you don't want to buy this particular thing, the way they will color it, they've gone to these psychological schools and the rest, and they know how to trick the brain. It's $1 billion industry, and they know how to get things done. Very flashy. You get it, you pop it on the go. Most of the time, so many people don't know this, but they're addicted to bread. They don't know, but they are actually addicted to bread. I was almost, until I started working on myself, because it is so easy. And do you know one thing with bread? You can overeat it without even knowing. You can overeat bread.
That's one thing I think I might be addicted to, because no, honestly, you won't know when
bread is
big bread.
You don't know when you can do you know when you can compress and there are some bread.
What kind of this? Like
I'm telling you, with oil on top of it. Let's not go there. But you know, there are some bread that when you eat it, it sparks this dopamine level in your brain, and it makes it so exciting to want to eat more. And your tongue, they know how to design all these things very well. There are some foods that once you just put it in your tongue, it gets digested fast, especially like bread. It just gets into your tongue. It's very soft, and that's why some people say, I like soft bread. Mommy, this bread soft. If you know soft, I need to buy them. It is something that they grew up with, and some people don't even know. They don't know all these things. Some people are addicted to sugar because everything is just dopamine. Some drinks. Do you know that there are some people that necessarily didn't have this lifestyle of working hard? They are always isolated, and they are so built to not having enough energy. There's some people that are addicted to coffee, because when they drink that coffee, it makes them heightened. It makes them alert, and they take off not knowing that coffee can cause excessive use of coffee can cause damage to your system. Excessive use of sugar. Some people, they like taking all these sugary things because of how good it is. And that's why I keep on telling people that have huge body, like people that have been addicted to food, and their body is they've seen themselves, their stomach is getting fat, and this is actually a good thing, because this is your body signaling you and telling you, oh, your body is actually built. Let me just digress for 1 minute. Your body was built with the love of God. It's so brilliant that your body first of all sees, oh, I can't push this to the liver, I can't push this to the heart yet. For most people, I can't push this to the vital organs. Let me push it out to the face, to the skin, to the body, where the person will see that indeed we have surplus of food. But then there are some people that have surplus of fat inside their system that you don't even know. I mentioned earlier that there are some slim people, because of the way they were conditioned to eating, they just walk 10 steps and they are tired. And then these are the people that they will now go back to, instead of finding the root cause, they take sugar, get addicted to sugar. There are so many people now. This particular one is the one that affects the youths, their phones. We will get to the solutions, but now let me tell you something about phones. There's what we call blue screen filter in our phones. It's there in our phones now. Most manufacturers have started putting it, and then we have blue screen glasses. Most manufacturers have started putting it. What they noticed is that I think it was in the United States. They found out that the way blue light enters your eyes, it awakens you. It awakens your mental spaces. They can use it to brainwash people. So now there's so many people that are so glued to the TV, they are so glued to their phone. It keeps you. Sometimes at night, people are pressing their phone. They are doing so many things. They are so glued to it, because that blue screen, it blocks your eyes. And by the time you know it is 2 a.m., it's 3 a.m. I want to sleep, and all of a sudden, some people hate it. That's one thing with addiction. They hate it, but because of that, we'll get to the solutions. But because of that dopamine feeling, that reward system in their brain, they keep on going. So people, I did it one day, because I'm trying to, this thing I'm talking, I have to conquer self first before I'll be able to help people conquer self. I dropped my phone with me, and then anytime my mind pushes me, check your Instagram, check your, not Instagram, Twitter, check your WhatsApp, check this. Immediately I want to check, I come back. I find a way to beat it. Now, people know me. 8:30, 9, I'm sleeping. I'm waking up at 9 to do what I want to do. And there's something again, we'll get to the solutions. And all these things, they keep on, and the way the algorithm is being built, do you know that the attention span of people now is so short? Because they reward even short attention span. just 2 minutes, 1 minute, all these short videos.
Yeah,
just
minute,
watch the entertainment. Just watch, it's gone. Just watch, it's going. Just watch. That's why
music is shorter,
that's why good things take time. Sermons, TED talks, and now do you know that TED talks, they are trying to, even because they know people don't like watching for 10 minutes. These people, TED talks now, they are trying to converse into 5 minutes or 6 minutes to just make sure that they get the message. And some people, when they now get this message, then they now go and watch the longer videos. There are some people, they can't read their books. If you read it, you start sleeping. That is a good thing. Your mind is coming for calm. That is a good thing. I keep on working on these things. So your phone, so people are addicted to their phones. So many addictions that are going on in society.
Before we move to the solution, I want you to talk about something in particular. There's some people that will be like, I can't do without taking coke. They are not seeing it as addiction. They just feel like maybe it's just normal because they just want to satisfy their cravings. So how do you recognize that you are addicted to something as a person, as an individual?
When you're always taking something and you see it as normal, that's an addiction. Addiction blocks your mind. It blocks your mental faculty. Like, it blocks so many things about you that what you are doing, you are even seeing it as normal. There are some people that they feel like, let's say I go 2 days without something, I'm not addicted to it. Addiction is a long game. Addiction is a very long game. Did you know some of these allies, they don't take all this heroin every day? They don't take it every day. Some of them, they even have like a timetable to take all these things to get that feeling in some particular time. So now, if you don't see, it all boils down to the fact that addiction is this particular thing, I cannot do without it. Now that is an addiction. I cannot do without this particular substance to get some things done by myself, and now that is a problem. When you notice that you cannot do without this thing for, like, let's say 2 days, 3 days, there are some things that if you cannot do without it for like 30 days, obviously it will harm your health, it will harm your career. And now that's this, even because part of the solution, because a question is going to be asked, people that are usually in the media space or in entertainment space, that you must be online
all the time.
You must be on Twitter
all the time.
How do I now solve my phone addiction? Oh, there is a solution for that.
Okay.
Usually presenters in the actual yes. I need to know what's happening.
They will get there, because I have to check, because there are some people that they cannot do without their phone. It's not possible. Some of these billionaires, they can't do without their phone. That's why some of them, they know that I cannot be with my phone all the time. They have PAs. They have people around them. I know Nigeria is more like a place where we just, because of the way our government is, but in some good places, you see some people that will be complaining, how can you have PA, how can you have assistant PA, how can you have assistant PA to media, how can you have assistant PA to this? It's actually a good thing, but maybe it's just the way the Nigerian system is, that they tend to abuse some particular things. There are some positions that one person can do, and one person can do 2 things, but because let me just bring this person into this field, let him come and do this and just be among the payroll. Now that I may not be sure, but that actually can be a bad thing. So if you notice very well, you ask the question, if you notice that I cannot do this without this thing for a very long time. I told someone that I'm not going to eat bread the next month, and I'm doing it. I almost broke it because I was very, very young, and I saw that, and this
that's
about
the fastest food
yes.
get.
And now
after Gary is bread.
That is it. Now that is what we were conditioned to believe, and it's still affecting us to today. I mean, come on, if I'm lack of planning is what even causes addiction sometimes, most times. Lack of planning is what causes addiction. And lack of this self-control. Like, it's so easy to just pop in bread with drink and just, you're on the go and you are going. So, if you notice that, the real thing is that if you see it as normal, yes, it may be normal, but if you notice deep within you that you cannot do without this thing for a very long time, and it's as if your body automatically pushes you to get this particular thing without you, by your own will, now that may be an addiction.
All right, I have heard a lot. I think it's high time we just get to solutions, because honestly, I like the fact that you jumped into the issue of the media, because for someone like me, I remember the period where, that was some few months ago, my phone got spoiled, and it was as if the whole world ended. I won't lie to you. Like, for like the first 2 hours, I was actually in church. It wasn't as if I was in church. My mind was gone. It's like, Jesus Christ, what is this? And the next thing. But do you know one funny thing about that day? I was able to actually be engaged in a productive conversation for the first time in a very long time, when I'm not bothered about what's happening. Because first thing, I didn't even know how I was going to get a new phone. I knew I was going to get a new phone. It was still going to take a bit of time to get it, at least to take me. Do you know the funny thing? And I like the fact that I switched, because it was first an Android, I switched to an iPhone. An iPhone gets low quick. You know, iPhone's battery is terrible. Before you know what's happening, it's low and all that. But you know one good thing about it? Someone was like, get a power bank. I wanted to get a power bank one day, but then I thought of something that, okay, sometimes let this phone rest. Rest. Because unlike that Android, one of the things that pained me about Android was that the battery was always lasting well. So I could be online for hours without let it rest. So sometimes I intentionally drop it. Once it's gone, once it's already 1%, I'll just drop it. So maybe for 2 hours, 3 hours, I'm not with it. Then after that, I come back to it again and all. And to a very large extent, in fact, I don't want to buy a power bank for now, except maybe I'm traveling. Because honestly, it's really helping. Because I can actually engage in proper conversations. But now, looking at it, many people out there are looking for means out of this. What do you think would have been the fastest solution out of an addiction?
Depending on the type of addiction that you were talking about, because it's not one cap fits all for the addiction. And I just wanted to say something about what you said. It may be a trap to some people that want to follow your own route on how you conquer your phone addiction. Everything is all about purpose. There is a way that you will have a purposeful life. You will never want that phone to die. You will never want that phone to die. I think there are so many people in life. If you look at the elites, the big people, and how their things, look at them very well. Do you ever think that they are okay with their phone dying and keeping the phone and say, They have a time for themselves. Their phone is always alive for business and so many things. So that may be a trap. Now, it's good, but it depends on what you are doing when your phone is back on, because you can't use that as an escape for reality every time your phone is there. For some people, you may have conquered it, but someone now may say, let me do everything, get addicted to it. As for all, my phone will soon die and I will go back to reality. So now it places you into this cage that I am always going to be focused in life when my phone dies. So you can see the problem now.
Another problem again.
So now you can see the problem. So now that is a problem. When you were talking, I was just like, okay, let me just clear you.
We must control this too.
So you must. It is a war. You must beat it. My phone, I will charge my phone 100%. Let me see how you want to win me. It's not possible. Now, do you know that? Part of conquering addiction is it makes you proactive. I talk to my people. Please, I may not be, because I know the top 5 people or top 6 people that are very, very important to me. And if someone, like sometimes people now know me. If they drop a message, I do not answer. If it's important, they will call me. They know that very well. They will call me if it's important. And if it's not important, I will obviously reply later. If you like saying I'm replying late, I'm replying this, and I will explain to the people that are very, very dear to me. After all, some people is just to watch status and alpha, send me this status. This status is funny. Oh, send me this. Send me that. Some people, some contacts where you just meet them. But the important people, I'm going to bed by 8:30. I'm doing this by 9. Daddy, I'm going to bed. Or my mom, I just tell them. If they call me, sometimes there was a time it was very, very important in the night, around 10 or 11. They called and I picked because I'm not the type of person that will want to keep my phone on silent. Something may happen, but I let them know that I'm sleeping by 9. If it's not important, don't call me. So I know the kind of life that I'm building. Let it be on, let it be there. I won't press you. And the way I condition myself, once it's 9 or 10, if I don't want to control it, my body automatically says this is time for you to sleep. So you cannot use that all the time, Joshua. So think about it very well. Get your power bank.
This is what.
Get your power bank. You have a purpose. You have something you can do with that phone that can give you money.
But the thing is, the problem is too much.
So now let's go down to the solutions, especially for people in the media space. It boils down to the same thing. People in the media space. People in the media space, they always want to find news 24/7. But I don't believe that your life should be lived in the news space 24/7. I believe that producers, presenters, people, casters and the rest, they have a time that they work. you have a time frame to do all these things. You can't always be conditioned to always being online 2/7. Sometimes you always want to check the trends, because as a producer you must know things. You actually must know things. But if you don't have a field where you can conquer, and if you have a field where you can conquer, that's why some people, they conquer business. Some of these people that you watch in some of these big shows, if you check them very well, most of their facts, most of their things, some of them, they're very good in politics. Very good in politics. So everything in the political space, they are very known and used to it. They are conditioned to. Now, how do they do it? Because if you go to Twitter or if you go to TikTok, if you are scrolling, it gives you different fields.
Yeah.
It gives you different fields to be able to check around what is going on, Now, depending on who you are, you have to conquer. You have to go to even more research. That is when, if you are a big media person, you have to start doing research on your particular field. And that's okay. I'll get down to that solution, because you can't do everything at the same time. Always wanting to be online. I want to know what's happening in sports. I want to know what's happening in business. I want to know what even the news producers, because I want to talk about media about quickly before I go to other areas, because we should not just stop at media alone. It's just the news producers that get all this news and gather it and produce. You now, as a presenter that always have to be online, you have a task for your the daily things that you want to do. Your tomorrow topic, you have a topic for it. That is what you get. Now the following day you are doing business. That is what you do research for. The following day you are doing entertainment. That's what you do research for. You have to keep up with trends just every day, the purpose for that particular day, and don't just boil down to want to know everything in one particular day, which is definitely not possible. That's why we have different people handling different segments in different media space. We have the sports analysts, we have the business analysts, we have the political analysts, political presenters, and the rest. We have the newscasters. There's people that are always keeping up to this. The reporters, they're always on the field. Will you see the reporters now going to start knowing everything that's happening in sports? No, he's a correspondent on the field. So even in as much as you are always on the media space, you have a task, you have a purpose on how you are supposed to get all these things. But now let's go back to the main solutions for all these things. You see, number one, and I cannot take it away, God is light. How do you know that? God is light. His light shineth bright over every darkness. See, there are some people, they did not conquer addiction with any help from anybody. And I'm one of those. Nobody. It's just like this deliverance out of something and makes you see the light of God, and automatically it stops. But now it all boils down. Some of these people, they don't even know how to get to God. But how do you necessarily see these things? You, as a non-addict that knows the light, you can be able to help them. You see some of these people that go to rehab. Just if you check very well the things that happen in this rehab, for some places, it's even beating. They beat some of them. They flog some of them. Some of them that, do you know that if you quickly withdraw someone, this person can even die because of the way the brain is used to these particular things. Everything becomes nonsense for the person. No need for life. Some of these people, they've even gone to commit suicide. So now, number one, how do you even drive your dopamine? Because everything is just this reward system. Your dopamine. If for people that are really listening to this, because the real addicts, they don't have time for reality. They don't even have time to press phone. They are just like zombies on the road. Some of these people, and some of them is a demonic oppression that is happening to them. But people that are elite, that are going through all this, you mentioned something about pilots. Some things that this drug does to you is that it heightens your senses to think very well and to see clearly. Most of the times without your own doing. That thing is inside of you. That thinking very well, seeing clearly, is inside of you.
But those things are just
yes, going into nature, it enhances it. Going into God and nature, it enhances this. But some of these opioids, some of these things, it makes it very, very fast. You see some people smoking cigarettes. You are saying, man, what is in this cigarette? It's not even sweet. There's something that this cigarette does to your brain immediately. It activates that dopamine level, that reward system that you get. That's why some people, they are so addicted to it, they keep on smoking. But now, what do you do? Because you can't just say that, stop this thing now. Why you smoke this thing? Just stop it. It is a slow and gradual process. Now, let's assume that you are mostly addicted to, let's say, your phone. You see something about a Ikigai, Joshua knows that very well. Because most of these people that are addicted to something, yes, number one, trauma. if you have the money, of course, some people they go and see a therapist or something. But for some people that don't have this therapist, you have to open up your mind to accepting the love around people, the people around you. They're actually going to help you bring, because most of this thing is connection. Connections is just the baseline of everything, as you said before, Joshua. Connection is just the baseline of everything that comes up. Opening up your heart to connect to people. If you know your problem, just like what some of these tech talks people they say, if you know a problem, just know your problem and know that indeed I can't do this alone, because most of the times you can't do this alone. And when you open up to people and change your environment, you change your mindset, these people, this when you're connected to the right set of people, they're actually going to help you. And they're actually going to get to see you do these things. Now, for some phone, do you know that sometimes, let's say you are sitting in a particular place and you're waiting for someone and your phone is there. Life becomes so boring to you and you start pressing your phone.
True.
There are some people, yes, this is it. Let's assume you want to do something very serious. Some people, they reward themselves with, I just came back from a long day of work. Let me check what's going on. And by the time you know it, the whole day is gone. Some people, they reward themselves. Let's assume they are reading a book. I'll read a book and I want to have a break. The break that they are having is more rewarding than the book that they are reading. So because of the way your dopamine levels is so heightened and the rest, you're always scrolling your phone. But no, you have to be bored. Boredom is good. Boredom makes you think. Sometimes,
but some people hate boredom.
Yes, boredom makes you think. Now people don't think. See, idleness is different from being bored. That's it too. That's different. People are getting it totally wrong. Idleness is different from boredom. Boredom is most of the times when people are bored, it's just like a higher purpose is bigger than what there's a book. I think there's a book. Sorry, I'm just trying to merge everything together. It's just because of time. There's a book that I read. It's called about eating the frog. Procrastination is another addiction. Procrastination is another addiction, because we are so used to quick fixes. Very fast, you are doing everything on the go. But then when you want to get something, there's this delayed gratification. When you want to get the results later on, this delayed gratification. So people are not actually used to it. Immediate gratification. That's exactly what they just want. So what do? They procrastinate big tasks because it's not rewarding immediately. Let me quickly. Even people in career, they do this a lot. That's why at the end of the day, we are so used to, and we sometimes we grow up with that. You know that a lecturer will give us an assignment. It is that day that the lecturer wants to take the assignment. You see people rushing and running alpha. Let me see what did you do. So sometimes environmental factors, as I said earlier, that brought it out. But now you are now into the light. Delayed gratification, like do the big tasks. Eat that frog when you wake up in the morning. That thing. Some people don't have a purpose. Their whole life is streamlined by their job, or by their parents, or by things that they want to do. They are controlled. They are controlled by society. They are controlled by their job. They don't have a purpose for themselves. The purpose is to serve another man's idea or something, whereby they are killing their own. That's why sometimes when they finish serving that man, working for that man, getting paid, they just go back to doing nothing else. The next day, I have a man I'm going to serve, which ought not to be so. You see that purpose, number one, having a purpose for what you want to get done. And this delayed gratification, when you have a purpose, work on it, because sometimes these addictions is just because we don't have a higher purpose onto what is going on. And now the pilots, they have a higher purpose to drive a plane which is very, very big. But you know that most of these pilots that have been driving, because that is a sector that is how am I going to put it? I don't want to say they are overworked or something, but they always have their mental states always have to be intact. 100%. Their thinking, their everything always have to be intact. 100%. And that's why some of these people, they go to all these things to make sure that they are so intact. That's why we see some big firms, they have therapists that are there. The psych evaluation. If they see that you do all these things, you are gone immediately. Punishment, high punishment. So it further even make other people not to even want to think of these things to get some things done. It ought not to be so. So number one, having that purpose, a higher purpose, a higher calling on something that is even greater than what you are doing for yourself. Number two, having a connection, like minds, people that are better, people that are actually going to help you come out of this particular situation, because some of us cannot actually get therapists. And number two, you initially have to be bored and go to reality, go to nature and think. Sometimes if you are reading a book and Tell some people to close their minds for like 5 minutes. The kind of voices in their head, they have to get something. Allow those voices play. Beat it. You can do it. Your mind is powerful. You can do it. So if you're reading a book, get used to boredom. Sometimes if you want to rest, just close your hand, close your eyes, or look at the wall. Sometimes when you look at the wall, do you know that ideas, imaginations, things will start flashing? First of all, those evil voices will keep on coming. But if you keep on looking at those words, because those evil voices, do you know what they want from you? No, do you know that they themselves, they actually want to be silenced? The evil voices want to be silenced. Your body knows that these evil voices want to be silenced. That is why you take some things to silence them, not knowing that you can actually stare at a wall for long hours, and no matter how much they torment you, they will go. They will get tired, because initially they are around. They are around, those evil voices, those demonic voices, because I like calling them demonic voices. They are around, telling you to do this, telling you to waste time. You know that sometimes when you even want to pray, you cannot pray for more than 10 or 20 minutes. You start feeling sleepy, you start getting tired, you start.
They want to vigil, they want to sleep. But after we say Jesus, exactly, pray, they don't sleep.
Everything is gone. Sometimes pastor is preaching, that's when people are sleeping. Do you know that these evil voices, because you know you want to be silenced, you cannot focus on the pastor. There are some people that have even admitted that, let me just press my phone. That's why some of them playing games, because I don't want to sleep. Let me silence
even in the
mosque. Yes, let me just silence these voices. So I don't think time will actually even going to help us. But now, this is something that we all want to know. You see, this is something about this dopamine. We can't multitask. I know women are good at that in some area, but you always can't multitask. You have to have a focus, a purpose. Kill that focus. Go to the next one. Kill that focus. There's
one at a time.
One at a time. If you're watching a movie, watch that movie. Don't eat and watch that movie. This food can choke you and you can die in the process. Watch that movie. If you are eating, savor every meal. There are some people, they don't know that they can overeat just by watching a movie. There are some people, they cannot eat without watching movie. Focus on this movie. Focus on this food. At night, have a timeline. If it's 9, I'm going to sleep, that is when I'm going to sleep. But all these things, and no matter your power, it is not by your power, it is not by your might, it is by the grace of the Almighty God. Do you know that some of these voices will still come back? That's why they keep on relapsing. There are some people that will say that, oh, I have conquered masturbation, I have conquered this. Another addiction comes into their life.
It comes. I would have asked about that cycle. The cycle of I conquer one. No, there's something my friend said one time. He said, I want to, okay, maybe we'll just take the reaction just for 1 minute before we just round off totally.
Okay.
Now, my friend said, replace that habit with another habit.
Yes.
Like, it was advising someone that was addicted to masturbation.
Do you know that he learned that from somewhere?
He learned that from somewhere. You can pick a new passion, like playing video games. Whenever that thing, just go and play video games.
And that's an addiction too.
And before you know what is happening, I see that video game addiction.
It's also an addiction.
I was addicted to video game addiction. Almost made me miss exam. I was still playing. Oh Jesus Christ! I was still playing video games. Until Joshua, are you okay? You are 30 minutes late for the paper already. Stand up now and run.
So they use one evil to replace another evil, thinking that that's a lesser evil. This is better. Video games is better than masturbation. That's what they believe. But video games are better than masturbation. Not knowing that masturbation is something. See, in a way, they are all devilish, they are all demonic. But some of these people that even think, do you know that you cannot masturbate for 1 hour straight? But you can play game for 5 hours straight.
5 hours? I played 10 hours straight.
Do you know why I believe Joshua? My brother started the game when Sega came out. We started the game 8 o'clock in the night. We finished 5 a.m. the next morning.
Wow.
That's why I believe Joshua. He is not lying.
There was a part in PlayStation 2, PES, then we used to play Become a Legend, Master League.
It will take you to stages.
Within a space of weeks, I was already 30-something years. Okay, Jesus.
So now that replacing one habit to another habit. So you have to, do you know that God light shine upon you, and the love you have for Him, it just removes all these things from you. And now, this is a dangerous thing to say. Being religious is an addiction, but that's a topic for another day.
Let's just leave it at that.
Being religious.
That one.
It's an addiction.
But I think if I pick everything you said so far, one of the most vital things you said is, 1, you need light. 2, which is very important, you need to learn to deal with boredom.
Yes.
Number 3, at least you need to even learn to even savor that moment of boredom. And number 3, which even though he didn't say it too loud, but it is all there, the place of discipline, self-control. And the fact that addiction itself, it's a war that's a long-term war. Because you finished at one phase, you still have another phase to go. Because you might think that I don't have anger anymore, but the day one real anger, another level of anger is coming, you will realize that consistently you have to just learn to man up enough to silence those voices that fuels the addiction. I think I like that one.
Thank you.
I like that one. Thanks so much, Dede. In the actual sense, I wish we could do another part of this series in there. Maybe next week, maybe on Wednesday particularly, we'll take it one step further again on the place of addiction. And I think I'll promise all of us that. But
I'm available.
Yeah, thankfully. But then let us take sports. Immediately after sports, we come back on Daybreak Africa and we'll say our goodbye. So please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back from that break, and I hope you guys enjoyed the guest segment that we had earlier. And I hope you guys enjoy sports, even though we know sports can be an addiction.
No, it's not an addiction. It's not an
addiction. It can be.
Leave my addiction.
Everyday sports on Daybreak. I think we're going to change that.
What other thing you want to put there?
We'll put something in.
Please leave the sport for those that are the enthusiasts. Because sometimes there are some people that actually likes it. Now the fact that you do something every day doesn't mean you're addicted to it in the actual sense. Some things are just your duties, which is the actual sense.
It's just like coming to work.
Coming to work.
It's your
just
duty.
like some people at least we have to at least check some things. Online. 1 hour, 2 hours a day, all those kind of things. So it's just part of the whole process and all that. Because at the end of the day, everyone needs a bit of entertainment to no matter what, you need that you need that 1 hour, 2 hours comic relief. Yeah, no matter how interesting the film must be, you need your comic reliefs. But then, in the actual sense, I think Dede was really on point on many of these discussions. And honestly, there are things that calls for sober reflections from everybody. I think we realize we don't need to judge each other. All of us have areas where we need help too as well. We all need help one way or the other at certain areas. Some of us are addicted to a lot of things. I wanted to even ask a question that, is it possible for that there's this thing people say, especially for men, no matter what, a man must be addicted to something. If you're not addicted to this, I don't know how that thing sounds to hear. Sometimes I feel it's cliche. I feel sometimes it's a wrong statement. I don't know.
Well, to me, I also feel like it's a wrong statement because I'm trying to think. Maybe I'm actually addicted to something.
No, this one is to a man now.
Okay, to a man.
Okay. I don't know about the lady. I don't know what people do. I know 80% of ladies gossip.
I don't gossip.
80% of ladies.
I won't even talk to you.
Shopping.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Likes.
Let's get new things and all of that.
Sometimes
I like getting new things.
Shopping too can be an addiction to
I like
the actual
getting
sense
new
because
things.
we realize that some people are undecided, indecisive. When they get there, that's that. I like this. I like this. I want this. I want that. And sometimes it's a problem too as well. So, everyone does need a bit of self-control. We all need self-control.
Just try to balance things and all
without
that. Judging one another. Very important.
But I think we'll look deeper into this as time goes by. And yeah, maybe next week will also be a good time to look into things like this. And next week again, we'll be bringing you more topics to on Daybreak Africa. But so we get to next week, my name will still remain Dede.
And my name, Miracle Odunayo.
Bye guys.